Hold on, guys. I'll be right there with you guys. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just hold on a second, everybody. Hold on, hold on. My apologies, guys. I apologize. You know how when you get on live and all of a sudden you get a call, and I'm trying to. I remember I said I was gonna keep these calls from coming when I'm live because it distracts what I'm doing. Sorry about it. And then people still sending text messages left and right. Hey, those that are in this chat, please stop texting me, please, please. I'm trying to get some stuff done. Stop calling me. Stop texting me. Oh my God, these people. We are blessed and be here another day in the land of the living. Thank God for Miss Sylvia and all of you sending love and positive vibe. Hey Denise, hey Joycelyn. Hello, 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 everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I was at the bottom. Let me see, move to the top and say hi to everybody. Good morning, Bree. Good morning, Shamika. Good morning, Chanel. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Red Bunny. Red Bunny. Good morning. Good morning, sis. Varsha. Shona, good morning. How are you? Good morning, Candy. Good morning, Laquitha. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Robbie. Good morning, Nicola. Did you get some rest, Nicola? Good morning, Davida. Good morning, Shariba. Good morning. I'm gonna make a song out of all these names, the way they're sounding. Good morning, Diamond. Good morning, Dap. Fine 3. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Fifi. Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Tish. Good morning, Olga. Good morning. Let's see. Eula. I said Eula already. Okay, I was trying to get everybody in here. Good morning, Tiff. Good morning, Nakia. Good morning, Shannon, and the other Shannon. Good morning. I think I got everything. Good morning, Janice. Good morning. Almost caught up. Skip a couple of lives. Just want to. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Henny Hen. Good morning, Sydney. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Judith. I think I got everybody that's in here right now. So good morning, you digging me? You digging me? The last one. We're at the cutoff part. We're way past that. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Don't forget tomorrow, the attorney will be on in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you guys could figure out the other time yourself. It's too early in the morning for me to think about those times. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Just joking. 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Mountain. 8 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Pacific. Good morning, good design. Good morning, Denitra. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Tia. That's it. I'm not saying good morning no more. But those are the times. Don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow we got to be prompt because I don't want to waste any of his time. So when you come in tomorrow, we'll already have started. If you come in after 10 Eastern Standard Time, he's probably already start taking over. Okay, so he's gonna do it more of a teaching type of live, because he has a lot of wealth of information. I sent him all the things that I thought of to send him. This is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be more like an interview. It's more of information, providing you guys information from different angles of how he would have handled the case himself. Not saying that he's perfect, not saying that he would have got a win or anything, but just a different angle and from understanding how attorneys think and what way they're gonna bring forth the client's innocence through the trial process. So that's what he's gonna do. It is uplifted, Janice. You know the difference, huh? Shh, Janice. Shh. Let me stop. But God is good. God is good. What did Joycelyn say? What did Joycelyn say? Joycelyn, I'm looking for what you said. What did Joycelyn say? Yeah, they are pursuing Cuba Gooden. His trial starts next year in, I think, in February, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not January, it's February. They're starting his trial. It's a daggone shame. It's a daggone shame. But as my title said, trust the process. This is understanding the who, the what, and the why. Before I get started, I want to show you guys a little video. A video that was done this morning about 40 minutes ago. And I want to bring it to you guys. Just one moment as I get it queued up here. And so I could bring it to you guys. Just a second. Gotta close some of these files out. All right, I'm going to get this queued up. I'm going to share this. Some of you guys might have seen this already, but I'm going to share this. Put my disclaimer up, please, Black Beauty. Please, please, please. Okay. I do not own the rights to this video. This is for commentary, critique, criticism, learning, education, research, all of the above. All right. This was put up this morning in IG by Shabazz. Shabazz has been bringing up a couple of good stuff, and I'm gonna play this to you guys. Hold on a second. Let me go back. All right, let me go ahead and start this rolling right now. Let me mute myself and then we can get this rolling. Just 1 second.
Why haven't we heard from R. Kelly himself?
Well, it's kind of tough because it's a legal issue as well. You know, for him to speak, when his attorneys are telling him to just let them process everything and get everything together, if he speak anyway, then he's going against the people that he's paying, and so it's really hard for him to kind of come out and just speak, you know, about an issue that's this deep, because you figure it's lawsuits and there's all kind of things that's going on behind the scenes that if he speak, it can mess up his money. It can mess up everything. And so right now he just has to follow his attorney's lead, and he got to trust him and trust the process.
From your personal relationship with him, how do you think he feels about all this that's going on?
Oh, it's killing him. It hurts him because no one wants anybody to think that all of this is because the person that they're describing in this Lifetime thing, this Surviving R. Kelly thing, they describing Satan himself, Lucifer, and that's not who he is. He's far from that, and so it's kind of tough to hear what people are saying about you, and you want to say something because of the street part of you want to just lash out, but the business part of you can't lash out. So he's in a tough situation right now where he would love to be the one talking, but it's kind of difficult right now to talk when you have 7 or 8 lawyers telling you not to say anything and let them do their job. So he has to trust the process and let them do their job.
Here's a direct question. Is R. Kelly a child molester?
No. Far from it.
Have you ever seen him with any girls you know to be underage?
No. He's far from a child molester. He's around women flock to him. He's a celebrity, you know, so you're going to have all kind of people coming at him. But he's not a child molester, and he don't mess with underage girls.
Let's play a Torre. What would you consider underage?
I consider anything under 18 underage. 17, you kind of fight the battle with it, but you know legally they say 17 is illegal, but I haven't even seen that.
Why do you think it's so many women coming after him in these stories?
Oh, it's easy. It's a ching ching check. You know, right now, you can just say that he bumped you.
Why haven't we?
All right, that was Keith himself speaking. This is in 2019. This is after the this is before he was arrested and after the Gayle King interview. That's when this part of the documentary was done. And I remember I told you yesterday or the day before that the Azriel part was around in October 2019. Because, but that's what was said by Keith. This morning I titled it about trust in the process, knowing the who, the what's, and the why. Just recently, you guys have seen a lot of the Savages and just promoting. There's going to be a documentary that they're doing in regard to sex trafficking. And you heard Q talk about being a victim. Basically, it's all like money grab. He didn't say money grab, but he said something else. But it's glorious to be a victim. That's what my take of it is. When you say you're a victim, you can make so much money because what? You're coming after people. They're not coming after regular Joes now, like Joe that work at McDonald's or John that sweeping floors, a janitor at the school, the school janitor. They're not coming after those people. They're coming after athletes. They're coming after actors. They're coming after singers. They're coming after all men of great stature, people that have a lot of cash to give. It's very, very sad because these activities occurred many years ago, more than 10 years ago. I believe that this is a time for us to change the law. I mean, my sister Spitting Fire talks about it all the time, about the laws being needed and changed. There got to be some laws be in place that will stop them from lying, stop them from coming up with all this outrageous story years later. Because if it happened during that time, some sort of police report, some sort of thing should have been done back then. And it should be a statute of limitation. The statute of limitation of reporting crimes like this was like 5, 6, 7 years, right? Now with this new Me Too movement, they have changed it and they're taking on, there's no statute of limitation on sexual crime. They're making it more important than a murderer or a mass murderer. And I'm not trying to say that, sexual crime is not something that's devastating or anything like that. But I believe that with the proper treatment, the proper help for both party, those type of things could stop from happening. That's what I believe. If you have somebody who's molested as a child, putting that person in some sort of therapy and things like that will kind of cut off a lot of stuff, a lot of trauma, help them to deal with the trauma that, they have to deal with. Because an untreated diagnosis or untreated trauma sometimes leads to things that a person tend to act out, they tend to act out. And I'm not a professional at that point, but I have taken some courses of kids that deals with trauma. I've taken, I lived in training and classes for those type of kids because I had, that was my my field when I was a foster parent, as well when I was a director for my organization. So, and then I learned a lot about sex trafficking and how to recognize certain things, and if a child is being sex trafficked and all that. And one thing I wanted to tell you, that everything is just not black and white, you know. But that's a different story. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to stick with the topic because I could go left field sometime. Let me just stick with the topic right here. But in that video, you saw Keith, which is Robert's longest best friend from childhood, and he tells us that he never seen Robert underage girls, right? And that is very much a true statement, because Keith does not go around in Robert's relationship like that, because his relationship is his relationship. And if Robert is putting out that everybody that comes around him needs to be over 18, why would he not think that these girls were above the age of consent, right? Especially if he keeps putting out, requiring them, whoever comes around him, to be over 18. How fair is that? And because every single person that talks about Robert and be in a relationship with them, they always say he asked them how old they are. Every single one, every single interview I've ever seen with any woman who has said that they was with Robert, they said he asked them how old they were. Every single one. Now, if you're not trying to protect yourself, why would you ask how old a person is? That wouldn't even come into the conversation. And the other thing is, if he so-called like younger, underage girls or whatever, why do you have to lie and say you're older? Because if that's his liking, it's much better if you say that I'm 15, I'm 14, I'm 13. Then that'd be like, that's his haven. Why do you have to show ID that you're older? And why do you have to say that you're older if you're not? If he's so-called like women that are underage or girls that are underage. Sometimes we have to make it make sense. You have to make it make sense. You have to use your common sense in this. And that's one of the things that the instruction that the judge gave the jury. The judge gave a jury told them, if something sounds inconsistent, something doesn't sound right, something sounds like it doesn't fit in, use your common sense and vote not guilty. Use your common sense and vote not guilty. I may be wrong, but I'm going to tell you something. This is Sylvia's feeling, and this is nobody else's feeling, but this is Sylvia's feeling. I believe, with my common sense, that the jury was either paid off or they went with an agenda. They didn't care what the judge said. They came with an agenda to find this man guilty, because there's no possible way. Because remember, when I was out there, I kept coming out there and telling you guys this and that. Oh, I said it had to be a hung jury. If it's not a hung jury, it's going to be not guilty. That's what I said. That's what I stood on, because me being a past jury person, which really dug into a particular case that I was on, I mean, when they had a foreman and the foreman was trying to tell us to do this, do that. No, I stood out. I dug through the evidence and I came out with my own decision. They were not going to sway me to persuade me to do something different. No, I stuck with my gun. I did not believe that person did what they said that person was doing, period. And some people on juries, some of them come in with don't have a sense that God gave them. I'm serious, seriously. And they will, just because they want to say they've been on this big celebrity case, they don't think. They don't think about the ramification of their decision. They don't think about the person's life. They're thinking, okay, I'm just giving you my mind's view on this. I'm not talking about anybody else, and what I say might be incorrect, but I'm giving you my view, Sylvia's view. That's it. I'm not giving you anybody else's view, but my view. I'm thinking that more of them, and I guarantee within 3 or 4 years from now, you're going to see that those people writing a book, at least one of them writing a book or doing some interview. Right now, they're not showing their faces, but they came in there with an agenda. They came in there with an agenda. It's just like the OJ case, right? They felt, hey, this person got away with this one time. I'm going to make sure he pays for it. And what they did, they got the right jury, the right people. The right people that they already know, people that somebody knows. And I bet you, if you do an investigation on those people, you will find out either they related to somebody like that, they know somebody somewhere. I'm telling you, something is up. Something is not right. There's dirt in that water. Something is muddying up that water. It's not clean. It's not clean. There's no possible way you could tell me that those jury, all 12 of them, came back with a guilty verdict. All 12? For something like a racketeering, something that's never been done like this before? And you're going to tell me that you believe that Robert is a racketeer? That he did the Mann Act? You got to also remember, okay, the Mann Act says that the reason for transferring the person over the state line is to have sex, right? According to what I have read and the text messages that I've seen, and those women wanted to go to his concert. That wasn't sex was not the main reason for them to go across state line. They went across state line, one to do an interview. The other one was to go see his concert. Another one was to see the art, the craft of being an entertainer. I never seen any of the text messages say, "Hey, Mr. Kelly said to set me up an appointment so I can go have sex with him, so I can be his whore for the night, so I could do my prostitution work, so I could just do him." I'm telling you, none of those text messages said that. Now, there's some things I could tell you what some of these people said, the women, because the women had an agenda. Women had sex on their mind. Some of them. But that wasn't Mr. Kelly's attention. They told Mr. Kelly they want to work for him. They told him they want to learn this craft. They told him they want to see him in concert. They told him they want to interview him. This is what they told him. And he told his assistant, hey, set that up for them. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know what? I want to give a shout out to Dominique. Let me tell you why I want to give a shout out to Dominique. Dominique stuck to her story. She didn't let them sway her. She didn't let them threaten her. Because let me tell you, the government will threaten you. They will threaten you. I'm telling you, they will threaten you. They will put the fear of God in you. When they come after you, they'll tell you, oh, we got this on you, got that on you, got that on you. And a lot of us, because most people are afraid of jail time, they will succumb to whatever threat that they have, and they'll lie. They will perjure themselves just to not go to jail. They will do that just to not go to jail. Because I'm going to say the same little thing that the attorney said the other day. He said every single one of us at least do commit 3 federal crimes in a day. 3 federal crimes in a day. We may not know the crimes, and they say that ignorance of the law is not a defense. So even if you don't know that you're jaywalking, I'm just giving you an example. I'm just jaywalking, and it may not be a federal crime, but I'm just giving you an example. Even though you may not know jaywalking in the middle of Manhattan at 3 o'clock, and you decide to jaywalk because you've been jaywalking every morning, because it's not a crime in the morning, but then at 3 o'clock it hits, you're jaywalking, and that's a crime. Just because you're walking across that street at 3 o'clock, jaywalking, you're committing a federal crime. I'm just using that as an example. Jaywalking is not a federal crime as far as I know, but I'm just using that example. Because you didn't know that jaywalking at 3 o'clock in the afternoon is a crime, you go before the judge, and the judge said, hey, we're convicting you with a federal crime. We're charging you with a federal crime. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that was, well, it's too bad, so sad. It's a crime, and we're charging you. So they use those tactics to come after those witnesses to come up with their scheme, and because their mindset, I'm telling you, some of these women, their mindset was there already to sleep with Robert. Their main objective was to sleep with Robert. Even though they're telling him one thing, he believed that they were coming there to work with him, or they're coming there to understand the craft of an entertainer, or they were coming to him to do an interview. He believed that. Clymer, I don't know how his sex life went to a federal crime. I don't know. And then they keep telling you there was hundreds of tape. I get tired of that fake. Why? Okay, if it was hundreds of tape, why they only use 1 tape and 2 audio? If it was hundreds of tapes, why 1 tape and 2 audio? Remember, Avenatti says there was 4 tapes of underage girls, and then the 1 tape that they did show in the court. Guess what? That tape was an adult, nobody under 18. Nobody under 18. Not one soul under 18 on that tape. But what I heard the news people, because they watch it, I didn't watch it when I was up there on the 3rd floor. What I heard them say, oh my God, it was horrific. It was disgusting. It was because in the tape, Hallie was putting feces all over herself. That is disgusting. That is horrific. But here's the deal. Robert did not direct her. She did it on her own. And then they didn't tell the whole story about the girl that Robert was going off on. The woman that stole his Rolex watch. She was a drug addict. She was on drugs. She stole his stuff. They did not give you the scenario of what happened, who she was. She didn't even show up to court, but they still played the audio. How can you do that? How can you play an audio where you can't cross-examine the person so you can find out, why did you do this? Why? No, she got, what did they say? She had a panic attack or something like that, anxiety attack. How is that able to enter into the court when you couldn't even cross-examine her? I'm telling you, the whole court thing was done unfair. It was done unfair. It was wild. You allowed tape, a tape to be entered as evidence, and you can't cross-examine the person that's on the actual tape. She comes there to testify, and you did not let her testify. Just like Kiona, she came to New York to testify. But you know what? What she was going to say would dilute Geronda's testimony. And what they did not bring her on as a witness on the stand. They did not bring her. She was there to testify, but they did not bring her on there because they knew that she was going to bring some light to exactly what happened, how Geronda was a super fan who did everything she could to lure and get this man, and that she was never in a relationship with Robert. She was in a relationship with Bubba. And that is a known fact. And you notice Bubba didn't come up? They did a lot of things. Hold on a second, y'all, Dallas. Hold on, guys. You don't need anything? Okay. So you notice that Bubba did not get on the stand. What I felt that the government did so unfair, you take her, this is Kiona, you take her as your witness, right? And to my understanding, if the prosecutor, I don't know how this works. This is just because I was asking questions about this. And tomorrow, that might be one of the questions I asked the attorney in regards to Kiona. If the government has this person as a witness, it's my understanding that the defense cannot call that person at the time as a witness. Because I noticed all the ones that testified, and most testimony was going towards the defense side. They didn't bring them as witnesses because I think they were originally the prosecutor's witness. I don't know how that goes. I don't know what the rules are on that. So I'm probably going to ask the attorney tomorrow in regard to that. Right? Because I don't know. I don't know law. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know law, but I'm learning certain things from different lawyers. But it is my understanding that the defense could not call on them, because a lot of people is like, oh, why didn't they call Geronda's friend and have her to testify? She was originally on the list as a prosecutor's witness, and she was in New York to testify. I don't know why prosecutor decided not to allow her in. I think because they were afraid that Geronda's testimony would have been shot once she got on that stand, which I felt it was unfair that Robert did not had that opportunity to even be able to pull her in as a witness. But she was originally on the witness list for the prosecutor. Prosecutor had 50-something people on it. Well, I think they said total 50, for 45 actually testify. But they had all those people, which they stopped them from bringing them on the defense side, something like that. I don't know what the rules is, but I will ask the attorney tomorrow. That's why if you guys, there was a lot of restriction placed on the defense side. Stuff that was unfair. And then they couldn't go over what the judge said, because that was the judge ruling. And then my thing was, when it came to the defense, the judge stuck to her ruling. But when it came to the prosecution side, she made some adjustment, which I felt was really, really unfair. Why would you make adjustment for the prosecution side, but don't make adjustment for the defense side? It's very sour. They're sour.
Yeah, it's not summertime.
They're very sour. Sorry, I was talking about my tangerine. You should get an apple then.
Yeah, we did something.
Yeah, get an apple. I'm sorry. She was getting the fruit. But You know what? Let me put the link in. Let me let my girl in. Let's see if she want to shed some light because she was there, Miss Dottie. Dottie, you want to come in and say something? I know you're not feeling well, but come on in. Come on in the room. Gotta sing a little song. See you later. Have a good day.
I got 25 more. It's gonna be a good day.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, Dottie, you want to come on in? Come on in the room. What is it? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, there she go. Good morning. You're muted.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning. You feeling better?
No.
Y'all pray for Dottie. She's not feeling well.
Hey,
Send
good
all
morning, everyone.
Well, I was just wanted you to give your input on exactly some of the things I'm saying and whether you agree, disagree, whatever. I want to hear from you because you were there and you were taking notes and you were very detailed about everything. So, what are some of your thoughts on what happened
What were you just talking about?
as regards to how the judge basically changed her ruling when it came to the prosecution, but when the defense, she stuck with what her original ruling was.
Yeah. Yeah, she did that. I just heard you say that again. That was a really good point. I didn't really. She did do that. Now that you had put it into that perspective, like I said from the beginning, it was almost like if you have a classroom full of kids and some kids don't learn as fast as others, so you gotta hold those kids' hands the entire time you're trying to teach them. It's almost what it was like with the government. They was inexperienced, so a lot of the stuff the judge walked them through pretty much because she's more experienced in that area. So of course she's gonna work more on the side of the prosecution. So if they fumble, like messed up a question, she'll redirect the question or change it up to where it couldn't be sustained. Um, yeah, the motions, the changing of the wording of the enterprise was the biggest thing when she wouldn't allow Bubba's relationship with Geronda to be admitted to court. I don't know why, but I know when Devereaux tried to mention it, he said to her, "It's on the record," and she still didn't allow it. Yeah, so even things like that, things that was already on the record, things that the witnesses may have already discussed, the defense wasn't allowed to go back and like cross-examine them on that type of thing.
Yeah. The other thing too, Dottie, I wanted to ask you, can you explain about some of the witnesses that were on the prosecution's list and why the defense did not bring them?
What do you mean? They want the
Like
prosecution
Keona,
and what
like Keona, or even
Keona wasn't on prosecution list.
she wasn't on the prosecution list. I thought she was.
She was supposed to be a witness for the defense. So the reason why this is like the reason why I kind of stopped doing my lives and stuff because it's hard to answer all the questions that you guys want us to answer without giving away information we were told not to speak on. So with Keona, she was going to be a witness for the defense. However, some things stopped that from happening for them, and that's pretty much all that I can say about that.
So she was never on the prosecution side of the
The defense was bringing her in.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm trying to figure out who was the one that was on the prosecution and the defense could not bring him in as.
I don't know, but I remember it being someone that the prosecution had that the defense. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't recall who it was, but Kiana was definitely supposed to be a defense witness.
Okay.
Um, and then you guys, I gotta understand too. There was an issue with some of these witnesses at the last minute not wanting to show up for whatever reason.
Is it because the government would have to be digging into their background and asking them questions that
This case is so high profile and all around the country and stuff. People is listening to this and they reading about this. And it's not like Rob hung out with a lot of professional people. He hung out with random, ordinary people like you and me.
Mhm.
And things that they probably doing, they may not have wanted exposed. Things like that. That's what I think it is. Because we keep saying that the feds were grimy. They were doing some underhanded, under the table, grimy ass shit.
No cussing, lady.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. See, what the thing I feel, Dottie, that is so like unfair is that they had all these crooks up on the stand as witnesses, right?
Mhm.
Every single one of them had some sort of background, not everyone, but there quite a few of them had backgrounds of stealing, have background of having false IDs, or they were found guilty on certain things and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
they let their background and their stuff slide, right? But as soon as the defense side has someone who has a touch of anything in their background, they magnify that person's background and make it about the person background instead of about the case.
The reason is because you got to go back to the judge. The judge was saying these are the witnesses, and she's looking at some of these witnesses as alleged victims. So you can't talk about that. You can't bring up the fact that they do have threesomes every other day with or without Rob. You're not going to talk about their sex life. You're not going to talk about nothing that they did wrong. But when it came to the defense, it was an open ball game for them. They could talk about whatever they wanted to talk about. It wasn't no protection when it came to the defense witnesses, but the government witnesses were protected. So you notice when Geronda was on the stand, they weren't allowed to bring up the fake IDs and everything, but they were allowed to make a big deal about a fake ID being found in that locker room. I mean, in the storage, I'm sorry, in the safe. Had the defense been able to say she's been convicted of this, she's been charged with this. Now we understand what I was saying, what I thought that shit was, excuse my language, it could have been planted. She was
Yeah.
known for having that. But instead, the narrative was Rob did all of those things. He made those fake IDs so that he was able to protect himself in a situation like this. It's a lot of things that if the jury had heard, he would have walked out of that courtroom. And that Chicago stuff would have been dismissed easily. He would have walked out of that courtroom, but she kept so much information from the jury.
Which was unfair, which is absolutely unfair. I was about to say something else and it slipped my mind. Oh my God. What was it? It was having to do with one of the witnesses. There was something in regards to one of the witnesses. I have to start writing things down, else I will forget. Um,
And even with that being said, y'all, the fact that she was keeping so much information from the jury, he still won that case. He still won that trial. He
yeah, I
still
was.
won, and you can still sit in that courtroom and you would not have been able to convict that man. But for some reason, we don't know, but we shall find out sooner or later. Everything done in the dark comes to the light.
Yeah.
We will find out. But he should have walked still because they still didn't hold up. They witnesses that they coached for months, hours, sometimes, like he said, that was longer than a work shift what they spent coaching these girls. They still cracked under pressure. So
Mm-hmm. And you know the weirdest thing is, why didn't they allow? Because they only let a portion of precedent in, and it was like shortest portion ever is the one where she's sitting next to her father and saying that basically that she didn't want to talk to them at the time, but I'm paraphrasing into my own words, but they didn't let all the other stuff in, like
Okay.
the birthday cake, the Father's Day cake, and all that stuff.
So precedence was not evidence submitted by the defense. Precedence was evidence submitted by the prosecution. So when now mind you guys, keep in mind, Kenneth and Scholar only had 2 weeks before trial to prepare. And if you really go through the paperwork, if you really go through everything that was alleged, read that article again. He says a lot of stuff was frozen from him. So even in them 2 weeks, he didn't get a lot of time to prepare. But with the precedents, that wasn't going to be admitted into court. It was a part of unless the prosecution brought that up. However, once Azriel testified, the judge said while the jury was taken out of the room, she said it's too many inconsistencies in her story. So I have to let precedents play, because that's when Koenig asked for it to be played, their evidence to be submitted. The government objected. They didn't want it submitted, I guess, and they said that they hadn't seen it. And that's how I know that it was the prosecution's evidence, because Koenig said, well, I find that strange because we got this from you. So the judge went ahead and she allowed that. And that's why that one particular part was played. The defense would have had to sit and watch it and break down. I want to play minute 135 all the way through minute 435, and then submit it into evidence. The judge will have to review it and say whether it's admissible or non-admissible. So that hadn't happened. So that's why only that part with Azriel was played.
And which is sad. It's really, really sad that I don't care what nobody say. That was not a fair trial. It was not a fair trial. Sometime I have to learn never record stuff with an iPhone.
No, I don't think that it was. And then you got people that wasn't there, but they listened. Do you know these are the people that's on these YouTubes and the bushes? They listening. That's why once it was over with, there were a lot of people that has higher power than the YouTube channels were able to come out and say he's going to have a successful appeal. He's going to win, because they listened to the transcript readings. They listened to us talk about it, because they wasn't in the courtroom. And they didn't pay and sit there and read the stuff for themselves. So they watching the videos and they listening to what we're saying. And so the more you do these videos, Sylvia, in my opinion, the more you helping him, because now you opening people's eyes, and they before they'll just sit back and we just gonna let the justice system do their job, and whatever happens. But now you have people that really want to get involved and really feeling like, man, this man is blackmail. We gotta help.
Yeah, I got the title, the transcript lady. I heard my name mentioned of somebody, a large prop law said I was the transcript lady. But there are
that's important, because some people don't sit. Some people don't sit and just read stuff like that. That's why instead of just having newspapers, we have the actual news. So some people are visual people. So every area you can put it out. You sit and read it and whatever, just as long as it's getting out there, because people hearing it now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different. It's going to be a difference if it comes to the appeal, because we still have to wait and see if she will find a heart and overturn some of that stuff that even she said in the courtroom made no sense. Yeah. Well, she just said that in so many words, but her saying Azriel's statements was inconsistent, and then she gave the jury the permission to impeach her testimony. So that's me saying the judge was saying that's not making any sense. So hopefully, even if she doesn't overturn everything, crucial stuff that will give him the most time, that will cause him to have to register as a pedophile or anything like that. Those will be the things she overturned so that the appeal process won't be as long and as hard, or so that we can say, well, he's done almost 3 years time served. So we want a successful appeal, but I'm praying for just conviction overturn.
Absolutely, me too. But you know, there are people who complain saying, "Why are we putting stuff, this stuff out on YouTube, and let the lawyer do their job and all that?" So I'm like, reading the transcript. Really?
You know what I was told in the beginning when I started doing the videos on your channel, to keep doing what I was doing, because Devereaux can only do so much. He has to try that case in the courtroom, and in the courtroom, certain things are allowed and certain things aren't allowed. But on social media, and we all know that Rob been tried on social media.
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is having his trial on social media. What you do, as long as you putting out nothing but facts. That's why I stick to whatever was said in that courtroom. You can hate me or you can love me. They said it. I didn't. I'm just delivering it to you.
Yeah.
That's his trial by social media.
Yeah.
That can't affect the attorneys if it's already been said and done.
Hello. Tell them. Tell them. Because the other day I was reading the transcript of, when they did the bail hearing back in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that stuff was already right there in our face, but because we weren't paying attention, they got away with it.
What the bail? You say the bail? Can you refresh?
Because I don't know if you were on live and watching. I did the bail hearing back in July 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that was mentioned in the bail hearing was that basically Robert was being charged with someone in 2015, right? Nobody really paid attention. That was Azriel from the beginning in July 2019.
I sure didn't pay attention to that. I didn't hear it.
No, that's the thing. And it's like now that I'm reading it and seeing, I'm like, wow, it's always been there. But we thought she turned in January after the fight. But her parents had already put her in there. Her parents had already put her in there. She was not cooperating with them, but her stuff was already in there by her parents.
Azriel was always a plant, but she did not officially turn on him until the money stopped. When the money stopped, now mind you, she don't want to work. She didn't have to work the whole time. She's used to, would keep talking about this lifestyle. How was she supposed to keep up this lifestyle if he locked up and then he stopped the money? So she feel like she already kind of cut off. So what's left for her to do? She can't stay and keep portraying it like she's this girlfriend and she loves him and this and that, and wait for the comment, because he stopped the money. So he basically letting her know, okay, you cut off. So what's the next best thing for her to do but to go public and turn on him?
Yeah.
And she said, if I'm not mistaken, she I think in one of the letters that I read, she said in there when she wrote him, I will support you in private, but not in public. This is politics, baby.
Yeah.
This is politics. So she knew what she was doing.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe she left that house in October. But remember, Tasha K was telling us, because she was listening to we know how she got her information now, but she was telling us back then Azriel wasn't coming home at night. She was staying gone. She was already, that was way before she left.
But remember, during the time in June, she went to visit her parents in June because remember when she was saying that she was going to go celebrate her Joycelyn's birthday in July, and she says I
Yeah, she
went to
said she
visit
went to
her.
the hookah and she
Mhm,
did the hookah lounge and she
mhm,
was with her. She said, I'm good. I'm good. I ain't missing no meals over here. Yeah, she
mhm.
said all that. She had just came back from Florida.
Yep. Yeah, but we weren't listening. Well, we were listening, but we weren't hearing,
I
understanding.
just didn't miss that part that she was one of the girls in that indictment.
I didn't know it either till I read it on the other day, the July, because I read the July bond hearing on two, and I was there. That's the strangest thing. I was there, and I didn't pay attention. I was there.
But you know what, y'all? I would expect before everything is over for Azriel to flip again.
You think so?
Um, I think whoever got into her head made her feel like he was never coming home again. So she shouldn't have to worry about the stuff that she's saying against him and things. But I think as you get closer to it, if he don't get she don't overturn it and it come to appeal, as they get, because that takes a little bit of time. But as they get closer to that, she gonna turn and she gonna say something different. Because she's not. She needs a lot of psychological help. A lot of help.
Mhm.
She's mentally unbalanced.
But
You
I
know?
believe that started way before Rob even
And just
met
as easy as they said Rob brainwashed her, you have to believe that whoever talked to her after he left or was arrested brainwashed her as well. So I felt like it's a lot of people that was pulling the strings on that one. But she's I don't want to say how to say about her, but I just feel in my heart that she's gonna end up switching that story back again.
I really believe she loves him in her own way too.
She's gonna change that story, especially when it seems like he's gonna be getting closer to coming out and he's gonna win that. She's gonna change that story.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
basically, from what I got, if I can be honest with y'all, from what I got, if we want to believe that she was actually trying to get Rob locked up, I would have to believe that she was also trying to get her parents locked up at the same time. Just because of the testimony um, that she gave to the feds or to the grand jury. The stuff that she told us that we now know about her parents, unless you were trying to get them locked up as well, you would have never said nothing like that.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
And you know it was very harmful because what they do, they deleted each other from social media after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he had a fit when I bought it out because I did a live about his bankruptcy.
And at the same time, somebody needs to ask, Angela, she didn't really even talk about you like that at that trial. She talked about her mother the most and all the stuff that her mother did. Why is this woman still not speaking up if it wasn't true? She ain't said nothing since the beginning.
Well, I mean, people could say the same thing. Robert, he didn't say anything. So sometimes
But
people,
Rob don't have nobody coming out on the attack like he's doing to
yeah,
defend this stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be quiet because of that, then everybody should be quiet. But the fact that you're not saying nothing, there's petitions going around to have this woman arrested. I would feel inclined to say something. I mean, you did it in the beginning,
yeah, she was talking in the
to
beginning. You're right.
crucify him.
She
So
sure was. She
yeah,
surely was. Yeah. Yep, she surely was.
somebody asked, did you know her mother wrote? Oh, I didn't know she wrote the song for her.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, I feel like she gonna get this little time. She gonna see it's all not what it's cracked up to be. The little money she making off of her little story. It ain't making her what she probably thought it was. People probably think they're gonna be set for life, and that ain't the case.
What happened
Because
to her music that day? It's supposed to come out the same day Aaliyah's music came out.
she didn't want to do music.
Mm.
Period. She didn't want to do music. That girl don't want to do music. She don't want to do no music. All of this is just something to fit the narrative. That's all that's it. She don't want to do any music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It came out of her own mouth that she didn't want to do music. It's just something to make it seem like, yeah, he held me back. He kept me from doing this. He kept me from doing that.
But he said she was lazy. She didn't want to.
She said she was lazy. She
Uh-huh.
testified to it and said she was lazy. She said that's why her parents had to beat her, you
He got
know,
to beat her. Yep.
yeah, to get her to sing.
He's trying to do a Joe Jackson, huh? Let me stop.
Right.
Joking.
I'm just looking to see if there's any questions I can help you answer.
Hey guys, I don't want to talk about because I don't want negativity in regarding to Joe Choke, because people start saying all kinds of stuff. I don't want that because me and him don't have a problem with each other. So please try to keep comments about
So
him.
y'all have to remember to keep these. If you gonna start off, you gonna keep it talking about the witnesses and what they did and what they didn't do. You have to stay on track and you have to stay talking about that. Once you start getting sidetracked, the audience that Celia is trying to build and gain that we need to help Rob to get us more exposure and to get onto bigger platforms, they gonna stop right there as soon as they start seeing all the other nonsense coming into the chat.
Yes, thank
Because
you.
there's no way to edit this stuff out and things like that. So just try to stay focused and just talk about as much of the case and the facts as you can.
You said it eloquently. Thank you, Dottie. Couldn't say any better.
Oh, you are, because I get it. You know, I get it. I see where we need this to help. And I know some people will be like, oh, no, I don't want to hear all that.
We try to tell them there are people looking at these live because now the interest has been sparked a little bit.
Yeah, my rights 2021 said that she sang "If I Could Turn Back the Hands of Time" at a talent show at the age of 14. Yeah, she was singing that because her mother was a fan of R. Kelly. So that's why she knew that song and knew to sing that one of them songs.
Tia said, I thought once you caught up in a lie on the stand, that strikes your whole testimony.
No, no, you just gotta pray that show the jury that she's lying about. You just hope when they caught up on the stand that it'll show the jury that they not credible, that was a lie. What they're saying or what the prosecution said or what she testified during the prosecution examination wasn't true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did, Laquitha. It has been sparking a lot of interest.
I agree. Reading the transcripts has sparked a lot of interest. Yeah. Um, let me see.
Leslie asked, did Alice know Kells before Azrael? I don't know.
Well, if you want to, well, technically, we can say that she did, since we do know she was the one texting him before Azriel was. So technically, we can say yes. Did he know her? No, but she knew him. The main media kept this case.
Any more questions on here?
They want to know if the appeals, there's not an appeal date set yet because They put in a motion to have the verdict overturned. So that'll come first. And once the judge, if she denies that, then they'll file a motion for an appeal.
Good morning, Stats. She finally came in. She's been missing in action.
Is that,
Stats, she's been
I don't know.
the court date for 2020 is Illinois. Yes, the court date tomorrow, Illinois, is at 10:30 Illinois time, which is 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. While the attorney is teaching you guys, I probably will get on the call and take notes and let you guys know. Or Dottie will take notes. No, Dottie probably good at taking the notes.
Yeah, I'll get on. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll give you the information, okay? If you don't have it. Let's see. I think the judge might overturn at least part of the verdict. Will the judge decide on what?
That's what I said. I honestly think that he mentioned that if she had to, I think that she would overturn Azriel. So I say Azriel, and I want to say Geronda for sure. I can't really say, but from what I heard, because I wasn't there for Geronda's testimony, so I don't know exactly what the judge got to see and didn't see. But if she is aware of her convictions or her charges, then I'm thinking she'll take that into consideration. So definitely Geronda and Azriel. And then keep in mind with Faith, his real only charges was just the herpes, the transmission of the herpes. So I think all of that would fall into that with the bribery, almost time serves. I think the bribery is even probationable. Because, well, maybe the herpes, because one of them is just misdemeanors.
Well, the bribery, the statute of limitation in Illinois is passed on that. And the only reason why they allowed it is because of RICO charge.
Yeah. But even though he still served the time on that already.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
So it's really Geronda and Azriel.
And I know the herpes is a misdemeanor in the state of New York.
And the reason I say that with Azriel is because she, in her testimony, she said it herself when he found out her age, when she finally told him. And she said that she told him she was 17. He slapped her. She ran off. So one of the things the jury had to do in order to convict him of sleeping with a minor in California, they had to believe with no reasonable doubt that he knew that she was not 18, that she was actually 17.
But
so I feel like,
No, but the good thing is Calvin did put in the mistake of age in the motion.
Yeah, you have to, but then he didn't know. You have the mother, you have the police showing up at the hotel, and you have her testimony that he didn't know that she was 17 years old. So
And
why
she
the
was
jury was
traveling, and she was traveling like she wasn't in
she was
school.
traveling, and we can't say for sure that the people that was doing her travel arrangements, none of them testified that they actually went back to Robin and was like, hey, did you know that this girl was actually 17 when you telling us she 18? They all said that he said she's an 18-year-old singer. Nobody told him or I had to make her arrangements, and it says here she's only 17. Nobody testified that they told him that. So how can we honestly believe that he knew her age?
And then the only person that really was doing it was that Cheryl girl, and she was a thief. She was stealing from him anyway too. So that was Sylvia's opinion on that one.
So she had to come out and say whatever that fit their narrative that they wanted her to say, because she's the one who started the Surviving R. Kelly, and just like Alizette Mayweather, She was working on Surviving R. Kelly. For them to get out and say anything different would be them telling the whole world they just told a big lie when they showed Surviving R. Kelly, which we already knew, but they would actually have to confirm that Surviving R. Kelly is a big lie. Because now we have Surviving Epstein, survive on Lifetime. Now everybody gonna be side-eyeing that stuff. So they had to keep up with their narrative. She was already paid by them. They could probably technically, if she would have said anything on the stand, I don't know what's in her contract with them, but they might have went back and tried to sue her for feeding them false information, then going on the stand and telling them something different. So what they said should have been expected.
Sorry about that. That was 444 calling me while we're on live. He should be in here in a minute. Yeah, exactly.
You say, Joycelyn, wasn't AC medical records shown in court and it showed herpes in age 17? Yeah, because it was for August. Her medical records were shown in court. But what I'm not sure of is when those doctors, I don't know if she was in Chicago, if she was in Florida, where those medical records came from.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not sure of. So okay, sweet one. When did ask? No, so I'm going to answer this question because it was big. So when did Ash say she contracted herpes study? What age? She did not say what age. She said she contracted it from Rob. However, in court, the doctor testified that there are certain ways you could test for herpes to tell when you received it. So you could do the one test, which is the culture, that will tell you whether you have it or you don't have it. But if you want to be a little bit more thorough and you want to know, it's for people that has multiple partners, you want to know exactly when you could have contracted it and from who, they would do the blood work. So they would do the blood work, and the blood work will say if you contracted it within the last 3 months or the last 6 months. She didn't have that done. So we can't say if she came into the relationship with it or not, because that the blood work was not done. It was just a culture that was taken.
Okay, guys, I have the information for the tomorrow's call-in for Illinois. You guys want it? Daddy, I got something else for you, but do you guys want it?
Okay.
All right, here's the
I
call-in.
did that.
Huh?
I did.
The call-in number. Mods, could you write this down? Put it in here for those who wants to listen in tomorrow's call. Okay, somebody, this is not correct. The person that just sent me this is not correct because the hearing is not at 8 a.m. Where's this coming from?
Maybe it's 8 a.m. their time.
No, it's I remember I was on the call. unless he changed it, and I don't see any changes in here. I was on the call. The judge said it's at 10:30, Central Time. So I don't understand why this person put 8 o'clock, 8 a.m., which the judge has never had no 8 o'clock hearing. Never, ever, ever. As long as I've been going to Judge Ledden Weber, he'd never had it 8 o'clock. Never, ever, ever, ever. In fact, the court doesn't open until 9.
Did you know that they're starting to do the same thing with the trials in Chicago that they did with Robs? They're doing an overflow room for the public.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. You know what? I'm going to verify the information because I will.
I would
Trust
think that
me.
it'll be about 10:30.
Exactly, because he doesn't come in early. And this information here is not. I'm not going to give you all the information because might be wrong, but I'll I know I have my information, but let me just reach out.
Good morning, everyone coming in. Good morning. Hey, Gucci.
Let me put the link in. Please. Bless you.
I coughed.
A cough. That was a cough. It sounded like a sneeze.
Yeah, I got a cough. You should have heard my baby.
Are you taking some zinc and vitamin C and all this wonderful stuff for you to get better?
No. Okay, Gucci. Thank you, woman of God. I have RSV. Um, Leslie asked, do you know about the girl from Utah, Stephanie?
I don't know nothing about her.
I think so.
You said, do I know? I don't know nothing
Do
about
you
that.
know? Because I don't know if I was there for her testimony. That's the one I kept getting confused on.
Was I there? I was there, but I didn't go into her interview. I mean, her was I there for
No,
her?
I don't think we wasn't there, Sylvia, because I wasn't there. I missed it too. I think she testified that Monday, the same time.
Because one time I was there before you, and the other time you was there before
I
me.
think she testified on the same day Richard Erline testified.
Okay, no, I wasn't there for him. I was there for the other people. Okay.
Yeah, that RSV is bad. They basically said it, and it carries the same symptoms of COVID. So they're telling us to quarantine. Latrice said Stephanie was Tiffany Hawkins.
No, she was not.
Tiffany,
I was there. I was there. I remember that.
So then that means I was there.
Huh? You was there.
But Stephanie?
Because they kept saying that she was Stephanie. When we saw the girl, she was a Spanish-looking girl.
Is that
Not
the one you
Stephanie.
testimony?
No. That was Stephanie. I'm thinking about the
That
other
was
girl.
Alexis.
Sonia. Alexis?
Alexis was a Spanish girl who ended up, she
Yeah.
was the nurse.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, that's the one.
We wasn't
That's
there
the one
for
they thought it was
Stephanie.
Tiffany Hawkins. That's the one they thought Tiffany Hawkins was. But it wasn't her. But Stephanie was a
Thanks,
Utah lady.
Ladybug. Thank you. Okay, baby, that's what they told me yesterday. I needed to get some orange juice.
So okay, I'm getting all confused. I'm confused now. I'm so confused.
So I can tell you this: you read the transcript for Stephanie, Sylvia, but we wasn't in court for her testimony.
Maybe that's what it was. It felt like I was there when I was reading.
Yeah, it felt like that's exactly what it was. We wasn't there
My bad. I'm sorry.
because she was the one. I didn't understand when they was questioning the police officer. They had showed that they found. So, like I said in the beginning, everything that was related to these particular witnesses, they said that they found in the storage inside of a safe. And I just didn't understand how he would know to put all of these particular items into that safe. Because remember, his legal team didn't even know who half of these Jane Does was until the last minute. So how would he know to put receipts that related to Stephanie from Nike Town into that storage? How would he know to put stuff that related to Alexis or whatever into that storage, into that safe? And that just made no sense. I think had the jury and they was trying to, like I said, they were trying to plan it to say that he set all of that up. That was him trying to protect himself. That was stuff that he gathered. But had the jury what the jury was told, he didn't even know who the accusers were until the last minute. He was already incarcerated for 2 years by the time he found out. How was that possible? You understand what I'm saying, Sylvia?
Yep, I understand exactly what you're
That
saying.
makes no sense. And Leslie, yeah, Kinnick said in there, he asked the detective, um, you raided the storage when? You raided the storage after you had already raided the house. The officer said yes. He said, and Azriel was still living at the house when you raided the house. Correct. How long did you wait before y'all raided the storage after raiding the house? He said 6 to 7 months. Kinnick was pretty much opening the door for us to see she probably the person that put all of that stuff into that storage and set that up that way. Who
Mhm.
else would know who the victims is or the alleged accusers is, except for another Jane Doe themselves?
Absolutely. Remember, they had
So
all
he
the
opened the
iCloud
door for that.
stuff.
So people get mad at Kinnick all they want to, but one, this even if you were there, you would have never thought he was going to be convicted of anything. But the fact that he was, and we finna appeal this, he opened the door for so much stuff to come out and to see the setup. Can they get video from the storage? I I would assume that they could. No one talked about that neither side, so I don't know if they did. Sweet one. Correct. Shabazz has her own film telling the feds about the storage. But if y'all paid attention, what did she say exactly? She said, I need to get to that storage before somebody else does. And then the lady told her, don't worry about it. We already got our feds on the way over there. That was a lie because they actually didn't raid it to the next day. So they wasn't on their way over there. But that's what she said. I need to get to that storage before anyone else does. At the beginning of love, you said you were told to get. I just don't want to give out. I don't want to say nothing that can, if it's not something that was talked about in the courtroom. Um, I just don't want to just talk about anything else because you never know what the defense strategy is going forward and things that I may have heard or seen or something like that. I don't want to mistakenly give out too much information. So basically, Red Bunny, I'm saying I'd rather just work with what we already know and just go from there. Anything new, let them handle that in the courtroom. Yeah, because of the appeals, and then because everybody is not for R. Kelly. So, like they say, everything that glitter ain't gold. Everybody that say they is ain't. Ask Carl Short to be arrested and he continue with the plan. Joy should have pressed charges against her. That's what Joy should have did because she's sworn first. Well, yes, I don't know, but she could have pressed charges against her. I know I would have. What what was the mask for? They reaching piece in this puzzle. Are you talking about the mass and precedents? Y'all hear that noise in the background? I'm sorry. I'm trying to make some coffee. Uh, uh, so Azriel tried to paint the picture like that was a mask that he would use to do negative stuff. But from my understanding, she actually ordered him that mask so that he was able to go out in public with them more and do more things with them. So that was something that she had actually ordered for him. But by the time they got to the mask, remember she had already switched sides. So she turned it into something negative. Yeah, from what exactly, Joy should have been pressing charges. Joycelyn, I've been saying that from the beginning. How can you sit and say that you did not go to that storage? You always went to the Woodfield Mall located next to the storage, but yet you can give detail. I mean, because this ain't no regular storage, y'all. This is a warehouse. This is housing a tour bus. That's how big the storage is. How do you know exactly what every single thing is in every single room? How do you know this? But I'm hung up on too. If he had that safe, and they want to say that he kept all that information in that safe, why wouldn't he keep his money in that safe? She said that they would go to the storage and they would go through coats and shoeboxes and stuff to find money that he supposedly hid. Why not just keep it in the safe with everything else? There's really no telling what they were using that mask for, but it was something that she purchased. Sorry.
Mm.
It says she had been plotting since she left in October. I think Azriel came in with some issues. She came in with some deep, deep issues, and they brought her in to plot against this man. But then she was getting treated differently than how her parents were treating her. She was probably being shown some attention. She was probably being shown some love. So in the midst of that, she kind of switched, and she probably did fall in love with him and got to like him, taking to him and stuff. But then at the end, once he was arrested and those toxic people came back into her life, that trigger came back to where she was again that manipulative person, that vindictive person, and she went back to being the girl that she was when she came into the situation with Rob. St. Kel's is probably in jail when she brought that mask. He loved working in the studio. Well, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why he didn't know that he had so much money missing because he was just doing what he loved to do and trusting in people to run everything else while he continued to basically help them get a bag. Because if he wasn't sitting doing what he was doing, where would they be getting paid from? Where would they be, how would they be going on all these tours and doing the stuff that they do? So he was helping them to get a bag while they were still in his bag. Yeah, I do recall he saying, I won't say no names, but they said when they got a hold to Azriel, that it took them hours and hours of convincing her. They had her talk to several different people. They made her sit and watch Surviving R. Kelly. Um, they said it took a lot. So brainwash at its finest. They just took her back to the person she was when she actually initially came into the situation. Gucci, you said it, I didn't. They um they do that to break them down for a plea. He actually said that he said that he hadn't been to he had never been to a bank pretty much, and when he did go is when everything was unfolding, and that's when he decided to find out. He was trying to, yeah, he was telling us how it happened really on Gayle King before, and I'm pretty sure he said a lot that they edited out that we did not get to hear, but I like to take things that he did say, and like I say his song all the time, listen to that. He answers a lot of questions. He said he went to the bank. He seen he had $350,000 in there. The first time he ever been to the bank. He told the lady to close that account, open him up a new one, transfer that money out. She said it was going to be some time, 3 weeks or so before that money was available to him. We go back to Diana Copeland's testimony. She said he had people that she did not like around him that was untrustworthy. So she left. But then she realized he needed somebody to watch his back. She said Rob didn't even know his social. He didn't know how his bills were getting paid. None of that. So her and some others, which was the accountant, they all came aboard to try to help him figure out where his money was going. They basically put together a team to try to find that out. He says, and I admit, it wasn't until I started asking about my money that this big ass conspiracy. I'm sorry, Sylvia, but that's what he's saying in the song. He said that this
Oh,
conspiracy comes.
you using that as an excuse to say it, huh?
That's what he said. That's what he said. So, from her testimony, from what he said on Gayle King, and from what he said in that song, it is all about money. It's when everything came about when he started looking for his money. Felicia, that song, I think it's been out for like what 3 years now, almost 4 years. So I think it got a lot of good reviews. I kept saying on my channel that I was gonna break that song down and just go over everything. Then I still didn't get to it. Maybe I'll come back and I'll do that for everybody.
That'd be an excellent thing to do.
Yeah,
I would
because
consider that.
everybody wants, a lot of the stuff we're assuming and we trying to guess, but he tells you in that song. I keep saying Rob not Hollywood. He's a regular. He's not a regular person, y'all, but he is a regular person. So K. Michelle said it best. You can't talk to him. You got to sing to him. He gonna sing you his truth. So we have that song. Listen to Shut Up. This is go all the way back to Heaven I Need a Hug. The only thing that I see that was wrong in each one of these songs, he always knew that it was people that was in his camp that he needed to get rid of, but he never did.
Why do you think that is that way?
He said it on Gayle King. I keep forgiving him and forgiving him. I have a problem with forgiving people with my heart. It's my heart. He says, we don't know. In order to understand that, you have to know him as a person and not just as the artist. You would actually have to sit down and do this man's entire history, stuff that's not told to us on the media, or, you know, you have to know him as a real person to see why he's like that. And you got to thank God for people like that, because there's not too many people that's forgiving.
Tell me about it. I know.
You know what I'm saying? The Bible says you're supposed to forgive as many times as a person asks for your forgiveness. You're supposed to, no
That is
matter
right.
what they do to you, you are always supposed to forgive that person.
77
And
times.
that's exactly what he's doing. Oh, yeah, respecting me. You see? You're supposed to. So it's just sad this day and age that when you try to be that person, this is what happens to you. But, you know, that's what they crucified Jesus. So Felicia, yeah, you listen to Shut Up, Heaven I Need a Hug. I admit, Reality. No, I'm sorry, not Reality. Listen to what is it called? I got a brain fart right now. Hold on. Felicia, I'm gonna say it once. It's called
While Dottie think about it, can we get the likes up, please? This is how this stuff gets spread through the whatever that thing called. The A word.
yeah, it's called like What's Going Down? What's
Huh?
Okay, Sylvia, yeah, do that. Let me sing this song in my head so I can think of the title.
Thank you, Joycelyn. Yeah, I know the A word. The A word that I always mess up, and I'm not gonna do it today. The A word. There it is right there. Algorithm. Okay, the word that I mess up, I tear it up every time. Can we get the likes up? Can we get the likes up? This helps spread the words in this channel. That is how we get new subscribers. That's how we get people to take our lives serious.
Oh, it's called What I Feel. Issues. It's called Issues, What I Feel.
You know the words to it? Maybe I could go find the words and give it.
That's the word. It go. Just put in What I Feel. That's what it's called.
What I feel, I'll type it up and get the
If
link.
y'all, I'm pretty sure everybody heard this, because this song was, I think he did this song over 10 years ago, but I promise you, if y'all listen to that song, everything he going through right now is the lyrics to that song. It's almost like, how did he know? Like he knew he was gonna go through this, y'all.
All right, let's see what the words say on this, what I feel. Okay, I'm gonna read the words. I am sick and tired of the games you play. Every move I make, your ass got something that, you know, I'm reading the words, y'all. Your A got something to say. Scandalize my name when you see it in the paper, trying to turn it around when it wasn't that way. Everybody is trying to figure me out. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Just let me live my life. I can't go one day without y'all in my face. Y'all done lost y'all mind if you don't hear what I say. Cops chase me when I'm standing still. You know I ain't done SHIT wrong, so why you want me in your cell? I don't like, no, you don't like my song. Well, it pays the bill. And you can't cut me down because I keep it real. Sometimes I want to fly far away from here to another place. It ain't worth these tears. Sometime at night when I close my eyes, I know the haters are busy making up lies,
Hater lies.
hater lies, sorry. Sometimes I laugh trying to keep from crying. If I was playing out of love, then tell me who could I trust? See, I work so hard just to get ahead. If it wasn't for God, I would be dead. I probably would be dead. Sometimes I think y'all trying to pull me down, but y'all wasting your time. I got you hater figure out. If yo had your way, it'd be lock and key. I'll be locked and key. Everywhere I go, trouble follows me. Where the hell is my father? SHIT, it hurts sometimes. There's a hole in me and it rocks my mind. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. When was your last confession? His true tears left without a care. And that was more than I could bear. When you need my help, I never tell you no. When I need your love, you got somewhere to go. I'm sick of this SHIT, but I'm not gonna quit. I've come too far, gotta keep my pocket thick. I get mad as hell, but that's okay. Kick off these shoes, cause I'm here to stay. I gotta let you know, got no time to play. So you see, so feel me in all that you hear me say. What I am building up, you can't tear it down, cause it's built up on solid rockland ground. You don't die. No, we don't die. We multiply, hit after hit, living platinum style. Keep my head up high, looking towards the sky. Nothing in my view. Hey, I can fly. Y'all just hate. I can't take no more. And if you feel me, raise your hand and show. This is what I feel. Oh, this is what I feel. Feel me, feel me, feel me. Hey, hey, feel me. Whoa. West side, tell me you can you feel me? Hey, oh. East side, tell me, can you feel me? Whoa. Oh, south side, south side, tell me, can you feel me? Feel me, feel me. That's the words.
Sylvia, can you put the link back in the chat so I can leave out and come back in? I got an echo.
All right.
So y'all like that? Tell you that song was
Yeah,
you hit it on the head. Let me leave out. I'll come right back in.
okay.
Is that link not working, Sylvia?
That one not working? That I just put in?
I can't hear you though.
Go straighten up your audio. Click the mic, my cam / mic and reset it. Y'all can go click the Oh my God, there we go. It ain't no love lost. Lord Jesus. His Lordship. Oh my God. Dude, stop. We're not for that this morning. Not this morning. Y'all, I tell you. Don't cry, y'all. Oh, I'm popping. Let's see my husband. Hold on, I gotta call Mr. Man, see what's going on. Here go Daddy. You better now?
I'm here. Sylvia, is that your first time hearing that?
The song I heard it about a couple of months ago, but that's the first time I've seen the words in it. Yeah, I've never paid attention to the words, so that's deep. It's deep. Yeah, he was saying exactly what's happening. I remember one interview he did. He says he sings about life. Hey, AD. Whoa. Thank you for that, Dottie. Appreciate it. You got me in a different mood right now. Lord have mercy.
I think that's another reason why Rob is handling it the way he's handling it. He's being cool and be like, it's okay. It's okay. You're assuring everybody, I'm okay. I'm okay. We're going to get through this. Because this is something that's probably he knew he was going to have to face just because of the demons that was around him. He knew this. You can't write songs like that without knowing. One thing he always told, and I learned that from Kate Michelle, he says, in order to stay relevant in this industry, you have to write about life. You have to write about what's really going on. So when y'all listen to his music, just know that that's something that he's seen, done, heard, something somebody around him is going through, but he's always said that. So for him to write that, I feel like he felt that was going to happen to him, because I'm not sure the year it actually came out. So I don't know if it was around the time with the first case or not. But, just like he did Three Way with Kelly Price and with Kim Burrell, right?
Yeah, that's who it was. Yes, His Lordship. How may I help you?
Yeah, I want to know if Jocelyn has a channel. I want to support her channel.
I don't know.
Does she make content?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I make 2 or 3 videos a day. Plus, I go live for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah,
So
I've seen your videos. I've seen you talk about me.
Yeah, I teach people how to use OBS Studio. I produce jingles and intros and outros for podcast, radio, and live streaming. I got several clients on YouTube. I have a whole mafia on YouTube of people who I help. And when the show come on, they have the top quality intros for their show. And I don't care if they support R. Kelly or they don't. I don't care if they hate black people or whatever. If they pay for my production, they get my production. You see, I'm like a gun dealer. I don't care who you shoot, just buy the gun.
Okay.
You know?
All right, but thank you for your time. But you're off topic right now.
Well, the deal is, she done blocked about 20 of my channels. Each one of those channels have content.
What did you do for them to block it?
I would like to see the receipt, because I have plenty of receipts. So I want to see your receipts. This is a video website, so you make videos to respond to things you have a problem with. So if I get blocked and I can't express myself in the chat room, I'm on a video website. You're supposed to make videos. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You just
All
can't
right.
slander anybody.
Okay. All right. But anything else, sir, before I remove you?
Well, if you don't want to unblock me and you can't show the receipt, why you blocking me, then I will continue to
Maybe
show my.
maybe they felt you said something that was not appropriate according to the rules that's in this channel. Because if you did that, that means that they have all rights to block you. Because
Well,
I did give them instructions, certain things. If you use people name on there that we asked for you not to use, then that's a reason. If you've been disrespectful to anybody on the panel, that would be a reason.
right. So they don't have no receipt because I don't do that. I don't have a history of that. I don't. I've never blocked anybody on my channel. That's why I don't have no beefs or no enemies. And there are people that be in my channel that hate each other, but they don't fight on my channel.
Okay, but this is
So
not the time. This is not for time. You know what? We'll do another live, and the live will deal with that. Okay, is that okay?
sure, because
Okay.
blocking just brings drama and
Okay.
hardship. That's all it does.
Okay. Let's keep it positive, and we'll do it. We'll come in the back channel, the other channel. We'll discuss all of this. Okay.
Yeah, but
All right.
until then,
I'll see you in the other channel. All right, guys. Sorry, Dottie. I apologize. Dottie, I know you were saying something. I apologize.
I have no idea. So
You breaking up.
I'm finna switch to my computer in a minute. So sorry, just bear with me.
Okay. Guys, we have roughly about what 10 more minutes on this, because you know me, I don't go past that 2-hour mark too long. And we'll be back on tonight on this channel for the live reading. And if I come up with anything else, I'll come back. Okay. Dottie said she'll be right back. She's coming back on.
I mean, I'm here. Do you want me to just log out and wait till you come back later and join that live with you?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm
Definitely.
always
Okay, good. Definitely the reading part and stuff like that. We definitely, because I know you and I, we let me just tell you, Dottie and I are a team. We just come on different times and things like that, and she hasn't been on in the last couple of days because this whole verdict thing took something out of all of us, and we're just regrouping and trying to get ourselves back into gear again. But we know messages has to be brought out. Because we are his voice right now. We're not the only voice. We just want a part of many voices for him. And he needs every single body, no matter who it is, because everybody has a position, a place, and a gifting for certain things. Dottie knows a lot and has a lot of inside information as far as the way Chicago stuff is done. Sylvia don't know anything about Chicago, right? Sylvia don't know anything. She knows more about R. Kelly than I do. I just learned a lot of things, and she's more precise and more direct with some certain things. I can go to her. She knows all the songs and all. I don't know anything, and I'm just being honest. I've learned a lot of things since being in this fight. So I'm saying
yeah,
this.
she's like the yin to my yang.
Yeah. What is the who?
We just compliment each other like that.
Exactly, the yin and the yang. There's a lot of things. When we work together, you get the full picture. You don't just get half and half and half. You get the full picture because she knows she's a wealth of knowledge as far as this whole R. Kelly thing. I'm talking about the person, the artist and stuff like that. I am the learned student of Mr. Kelly, because of my personal time with him, the short amount of time I've learned to learn more about him, and I grew to understand him, the person, and from my background of me having let me see, I want to say it in the right way, but my background as a person who is a nurturer. Let me just say it that way. Is a nurturer. I can understand with a forgiving heart towards anything. There's nothing that could be done under the sun that's not forgiven, other than blasphemy. I told you guys about that before. But I believe that the two of us working together could show the world exactly what is going on. There's a lot of things, like when she was breaking some stuff down, I didn't know. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't know, but we worked together well. And a lot of people try to separate us, but you can't separate what God put together. What God puts together, you can't put us under. That's it.
So when that happens, I separate. Let me say how I am. I'm cut from a different cloth. I've always said I would never get on YouTube because these streets is dangerous. But I had to come on here because I had to make sure everyone knew what was really happening in that courtroom. So once that ended and you get called into all the drama, I have to separate myself because I refuse to go back and forth with anybody that's not paying my bills. So, but the bigger purpose is when that stuff happens, it's a distraction. So if I remove myself from that situation, people will eventually see who the distraction really is. So I let you know I have to get away from that because I can't deliver a positive message if my energy is all off and I'm thinking differently, but I'm trying to tell y'all something to be positive or whatever the situation is. So I have some, you're going to find that I take breaks. But when there's a message that you guys need to hear, I will come back. I pop up on Sylvia's channel or, discuss anything. If it's something that needs to be said, that's when I'll come back and do that. But I have to, for the sake of my energy, because when I leave here, I want to be reunited with my loved ones. I'm not going to let nobody that I don't even know get me to the point to where I'm out here doing some crazy stuff that I don't even allow my children to do. So that being said, if I can't, without saying it, I just step away from a while and I just let God show the true colors of who some of these people really is. If I'm not, like I say all the time with Rob, we don't want him in jail, but hey, he had not been locked up for these 2.5 years and all the stuff that went down within them 2.5 years, he would have took the fall for a lot of that stuff. He would have been to blame for a lot of that stuff. But because he was removed from that situation, we got to see the truth. And that's how I look at it with this. I remove myself from my channel so everyone can see the truth for themselves. And then I'll come back when we all more positive and we doing the right thing, because going back and forth with these people was not helping him at all.
That's a
So
fact.
for everybody that asks why I'm not on my channel, that's why I'm not on my channel.
That's a fact. Okay, Miss Fat giving you hands. Okay, everybody saying yes, 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 yes. Why? All right. Okay. All right. So Henny Hen wanted to come up. Come on, Henny Hen. She wanted to say something. Let's see. Okay, and the other thing too, I want to say something in regards to the to my mods and stuff like that. Mods, I appreciate all the wonderful hard work you guys do, and I am so grateful for you guys. I want to say those people who are out there who are spectators, subs, all of you. The mods have a work to do, and that work is to be able to keep this platform as peaceful and as positive as possible. When someone comes in and saying things that are offensive, that are an attack, anything that they feel is negative, they will block you. They'll give you a moment to be timed out, and then if you continue, they will block you. And I will not unblock you until all of this fight and until his appeal and all of that stuff is over with. Because if they felt that you did something that is offensive and you were asked not to do and you continue to do it, they have the right to do that. And I know some people get upset, or I did this and that, but if they're giving you warnings, y'all, you gotta just respect it. And then also my mods, if you're not following the rules that's placed on the platform, if you're attacking and saying all negative things, that's not good either. Then I'm gonna have to remove you from being a mod, because we got to do this in decency and we have to do this in order. We have to be respectful. And this channel is going to give information for people we have attorneys looking at this channel. We have people who are CEOs and people in high places, they don't want to see that nonsense. They don't want to see all this bickering and backbiting and all this kind of stuff. And then that's why it's people that come on the platform, I try to have you guys, the message go further when we don't do the negative stuff. You know, I know negativity sells, but we're not trying to sell negativity. We're trying to get information out. And that's what we're doing in this channel. Okay. I know a lot of people don't like it. And I always try to tell people, hey, no, don't curse, because YouTube has its own guidelines. If they pick up certain words, they will not let this message go further. So if you're saying the N-word, and because I tell people don't do that N-word, because that's a racial slur, they don't like it. I sat down and I read the rules and guideline of YouTube, and I try to stick with it. That's why I ask people, don't curse, don't attack, don't do these things that's going to cause the message not to go further. We want these messages to go further. We want our voice to be heard for Robert. That's what we're trying to get. It's not about who does this for Robert. No, it's about the message going out. That's the only aim in this channel right now. For this message. That's why I have a backup channel now. If we want to play around, do all the other crazy stuff, do it at the backup channel. But this channel, we have almost 11,000 followers on this channel. And 11 will reach millions. So that's why we have to do things the right way, decency and in order. If you have a gripe with somebody, go to the backup channel. Say, hey, Sylvie, can we go to the backup channel? We'll do that there. But as far as this channel, we got to keep it as decency and in order. We have to. Because there's people looking at, I have gotten messages saying people who are in the industry, who means a lot, who wants to get the information out about Robert, and they can sit in the bushes and see stuff and hear stuff. And that's what they're looking for. That's why we keep repeating the transcript, because they want to hear what happened in court, because they don't have time to sit down and read it, but they could get in their car, pop our YouTube on and listen. We're not perfect. We're not actors, but we try to do our best. That's why I ask you guys, whoever wants to be readers, please come, because we do need it. Because if I don't have enough readers, for them to hear different voices, that helps them to recognize who's saying this and who's saying that. That's why I ask for readers. And I'm sorry if some of you guys want to continue to do the play and not take this serious, then maybe this channel is not for you at this time. You guys could just go on someplace else. I'm not looking for people to like me and like this channel. I'm looking for information to get out. And that is the only purpose right now, for us to get this information out. Henny Hen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I agree 100% with you. I'm just in this fight for cows and for any man that's being unjust. And, you know, but I wanted to piggyback off of something Dottie said, because if you remember in his emails to, you know who, he told her about being in the studio and that she needs to write life, because that's what goes in the music industry. Do you remember that? Sylvia, Dottie?
Who said it?
Yeah, because so what you were speaking is facts, you know what I mean? He really, because if you blow him up, I went through and I read them all. And that's another thing. I don't know why they didn't submit that email, because they tried to say that, you know, he wasn't helping her with her career, where clearly he was.
Mm-hmm.
It was so clear that he was, even through the emails. But that's all I really wanted to say. If people really blew it up and read the emails, they would see that.
Okay.
But okay, everybody have a blessed day. I gotta go to work.
Thank you. You have a good one. You coming tonight, 7:30?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. I have someone who's trying to get in. Tanya Cornley. Is this something that you need to talk to us about here? And I hope it's going to be on a positive note. I'm going to bring you in. Okay.
Okay, I just had a question to ask.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know if somebody already probably asked this question. I might have missed the answer, but I'm not familiar with the laws, but with the RICO case situation, could the studios be responsible, because they're the ones who promoted the concerts? They're the ones who promoted the record.
Dottie,
they're
you
trying
wanna
to, you get what I'm trying to say? Because I mean, they're trying to put it all on R. Kelly, but he don't book his concerts. He don't book, he don't promote his records. You have people who do that, the marketing, and they try to say that he used his music to, to get young women, but he didn't do that. Really, it was the record company that did that. That
you
did the
know,
marketing.
I agree with you. And even with the tickets, when you purchase I've purchased tickets for adult concert before. It says that in the concert, the guideline and restriction of those who can attend those concerts. So if the venue was not following the proper protocol and making sure the age of the individual, their patron, was not of age, then I believe they should be held responsible too. I agree with you on that. I believe they should be held responsible, but they weren't looking for them. They were looking for Robert. So everything.
Yeah, I mean,
But can I
I'm
say
so,
he
yes, ma'am.
wasn't looking for the young girls. The girls were lying to him about their ages.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah,
And the
we
parent,
know that. But how they present it is like,
right?
he
And the
uses.
parent was the one getting them in the concert.
No. So that's where you got to go back to. That's where you get the criminal enterprise. Well, they
Yeah,
changed the word, and so now it's no longer a criminal enterprise. It was an enterprise. So the people that you're talking about were included in that enterprise.
yeah.
So they
That's what I was
broke
trying
that
to
down.
ask.
Yeah, they broke that down at trial. But you can't hold a record company. Record companies do not promote concerts. You have promoters, you have booking agents, and people like that that promotes the actual concerts. And those were people that were testified at trial that was considered to be part of the enterprise. So, and you might as well say, well, they kind of did, but they just didn't charge them with anything.
Okay, thank you for answering my question. Thank you.
You're welcome, Diana. Thank you.
Bye bye.
That's the
Bye.
right answer, Daddy. That's the right answer because that's why I came on. You cannot held the record label or a studio rely responsible for nothing because record labels only promote your record. They don't
Your
promote
music,
nothing
correct?
else. They promote the records so they can make money. The concerts are promoted by the promoters, but as a promoter, when you sign your contract with the venue and you told them 21 and over, now this
Right,
is where it comes in at. To go buy the ticket, it got to be an adult. But
correct,
that adult can't give anybody that want the ticket after that. See, that's
correct.
where a lot of stuff got to change because if you know a R. Kelly and a Keith Sweat concert is for adults, I don't think why should you bring, you know,
Well,
someone under 18, 20, right? Why? Because
the thing is,
it
every
just
single
like
person testified
exactly,
to their parent being there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you
exactly,
have a
and
parent that's responsible for you, then you can be there. You can be
right,
out past curfew. They
and
not
that's
because your
what
parent is there.
And that's what he said too. He said, in order to get in, you got to be with an adult over, certain age if you're on a certain age. But I just believe that it's hard, and they're not going to change it. They're not going to change their rule because of the fact that majority of the concert profit, the music business profit for artists is in concert. And like for instance, rock and roll concert, a lot of parents bring their young kids with them to rock and roll. So I don't think they're gonna change that. No way. It's just that the parents now should be more reliable. If you bring your underage kid or whatever you want to call it to a concert, you should be held responsible, not the venue or the artist. Because I does not understand how they said he's using his celebrity or his music to get girls. Well, if that was the case, I'm not going. Don't judge me wrong, but he damn did do a goddamn good job to be number
Hey,
one in the
hey,
world.
your mouth, your
I'm
mouth.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Sylvia. He did a good job to be the number one artist in the world. If that's what they said he was doing, just to get ladies.
Well,
I mean,
not
come
only
on.
that, Gucci, but if you're saying that he using his music to lure in underage girls, why would these parents take him right to where he can lure them into? Because he
Thank
would have
you.
never met him had they not came to see him.
That's
and
true.
and, and Daddy, and that's what I was speaking to someone in the business, and he's like, I don't understand that because if they're saying he's using his music to lower girls, but the girls they always say they're with the parents. So what does that tell you? That means the parents don't give a crap about their kids either, or their young ladies, whatever they are. Because you cannot go buy the ticket on your own, because that's one thing. When you go there, they'll ask, if the ticket say 21 and over, they ask you, how old are you? And if they look young, they ask you for ID. So I just don't
But they
understand
need
how
to
they,
start asking for ID, period, like they do with alcohol.
right. But you see, they're not, once you buy the ticket, they're not going to do that. I can tell you, because just
Well,
saying
they
me and you,
should.
yeah,
Okay, like, okay, but I'm gonna give you an example. I used to work at the stadium, right? When they had like evening concert, right, and they were selling liquor, you have to be 21 to be in that venue. If they're not 21, they cannot enter into the venue because it's
I know,
liquor
but
being sold.
they
Oh,
still sell
wait.
liquor at
Oh,
the venue.
can I chime
That's
in
why they
on
told
that?
you. That's why they tell you you got to be with a parent, because if you go up to the thing and you by yourself, it's a 50-50. Are they going to sell that young person? And that's why I said a lot of the parents got to start these venue got to start held these parents responsible, because there's
Well,
something of all.
then don't allow them to have to cut out that part about you could come with your parents. Period. Just remove that all. Everybody
Yeah,
has to be 21.
yeah, but it's not gonna happen, Sylvia. It's not gonna happen
Hello?
because you
Yeah,
got to remember.
this the thing with that. 'Cause, okay, I get what you're saying, but 9 times out of 10, that performer may not be performing alone. So he
Exactly.
can be performing with a group where there is a 20-year-old and a 19-year-old that's in a
Yeah,
group or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So there
like
Mhm.
could be a different age group. For in as
like
Rihanna's situation, she was at a
like
funk
daddy.
fest, so there were
Daddy, perfect
multiple.
example.
There were
Perfect
multiple
example.
people there. The
Gucci.
Hold
thing
on,
is,
Gucci. Let her finish.
until the government start prosecuting these women, because women traffic, I'm
Perfect.
learning that more every day, traffic kids just as much as these men do. Until they start locking them up, you're gonna continue to have situations like this. It's always gonna be a way around it. You have so many people at the door that's taking them tickets. If they stop to check IDs, it's too much. It's be thousands of people at these concerts. They're not able to do that. That's why if you're there with your parent, they expect you to act as such a parent and be responsible for your child. They don't expect you to come in there to intentionally set up these artists to be with your underage daughter. And
Right. Can
And
I say
you know,
that's
we think
perfect,
something?
Daddy. That's perfectly
you don't
said.
think
They're
like
not.
that. But this should be a lesson to everybody. Women fall in love with these celebrities. They get old. They feel like, oh, I can't do this. So instead, they still have this dream or whatever of being somewhere in this man's world. Or any, it happens to a lot of artists, celebrities, and they still want to be in the picture. So they don't mind giving their daughter off to this man because somehow they still in his circle. As long as they in his circle, that's all. As long as he know their name or know what they look like, that's all they care about. So until they start actually prosecuting these parents when situations like that go down, the same way you would prosecute a parent if your child missed so many days at school. They knocking on your
Exactly.
door. They coming to your
Exactly.
door. Why your child ain't in school? It's the same reason they need to be knocking on the door. Why is your child with this 50-some-year-old man and you at home sleep waiting on a phone call or waiting? That don't make no sense. So until they start taking stuff like that seriously and stop giving these mothers a pass, it's gonna continue to happen. It's not the venue. It don't start at the venue. She met him at an outdoor concert.
Right.
So
Right.
anybody could have walked up on that grass and met him.
And
You
and
know, she
and
could.
and,
Please. I
and
was
Daddy.
just
Oh,
was
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just at an Ice Cube concert and I was shocked because a parent had two little kids, like 8 and 9 years old. I couldn't believe it. And you know all the cuss words in his music? I was just like, wow. And you wouldn't believe the way there was teenage girls in there. I just couldn't believe it. And the parents allow it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I'm with Daddy. I believe now they need to start get down on these parents, because there's no way, like you just said, you go to a Snoop Dogg concert and you bring in a 10-year-old to see Snoop smoking all the weed in the world, cursing, and you think that's fine. And throughout my music career since the 80s, I've seen that. I've seen that so much. There's a perfect example when I did Neo and Rob in Memphis in 15, right? The age group was like, for Neo age group are like 18 and up. So it's hard for you to say the venue should do this, should do that. It should be the parents, because like Daddy said, if you don't go to school, the school coming to knock your door. Now, as a parent, you bring your daughter somewhere and you go home and leave her and sitting at home waiting on a phone call to say, oh, I'm with him now, mama, I'm good. That's kind of terrible, for them to just putting everything on him when even the girl said, my mama told me to tell him I was 18. Right alone, right there, her butt should be in jail right now. For real.
All
And
I'm
it's,
saying, the same way that they could regulate with the liquor stores and allowing them not to let them purchase it, they should do the same thing for the venues. That's all I'm saying.
well, too, Sylvia, a lot of venue, like here at FedEx in Memphis, if when you buy the ticket and you go in, you got to go show your thing to get a wristband to go get the liquor. So a lot of venue do different things. I don't know how some do, but it's just odd. And I see your point, but I don't know. I believe the only time they're ever gonna change this, and you may think I'm lying, is when a rock and roll group get in trouble for that. Watch. That's when it's gonna change.
I agree.
Because that's where the big money in these rock and roll concerts. So they're not gonna change nothing for us until them people, because remember, at every rock and roll concert they make 500% profit at the bar alone. So they're not gonna change all that stuff. They're not.
Start petitioning and get those people too, because let me tell you, I've since I've been doing this research, I've found a whole bunch of them, have done horrific things to these women.
Yes,
Young girls.
Sylvia, this
12,
thing
11 years old, but nobody's bringing anything up. Some of them dead and gone. Nothing
Yes.
happened to them.
Nothing happened to them. But the problem is, you see, back then, I'm not saying back then. The thing is, nothing didn't come forward until you got a bunch of black women come together, put this thing called the Me Too movement, and decide to go after Rob. You didn't see nobody go after the rock and roll groups. Like none of them rock and roll groups did worse thing than all the black groups put together. If you read upon it, they tell you that. But nobody go after them. Everybody want to come after the man that is the biggest urban artist over the last 30 years. Why? Because his music is the kind of music that ladies want to hear. And those sad ladies that go and put this together, no man want them. Nobody like the founder of the Me Too. Ain't nobody want that ugly thing. Please. So that's what they are. A bunch of scorned women put that stuff together to go do that. And it's not right. It's not right. I don't think it's not right. So we got to fight. And one of the thing is, that's one thing people need to go after. We need to find out the whole Me Too movement nonsense. Because, come on. Okay, why y'all only going after certain people? Why? They're not going after.
Because they go after certain people because Rob is a sex symbol, like we've already said. That's somebody that they will want. But when you look at the women that he's with, they don't fit that profile. So that, okay, how you gonna be with this young? Here I am, this black woman, educated. I'm this and I'm that, but he looking at 19. He want the 19-year. I'm telling you, I believe it with all my heart. This did not come out. People did not get upset with Rob until he was walking hand in hand with Hailey, whatever her name, Hailey.
That
When they
is
say,
true.
"Oh, this white
That
woman,
is
you got this
true.
white woman on your arm. She young and beautiful and this and that." Oh, that's how. Then they got upset. That's just like Drea. You get up. Drea was his wife for how long? Nobody even knew he ever had a wife. But as soon as he photographed with them, it's a problem. She was just at his birthday party. It's my baby daddy this, my baby daddy that. But as soon as he get photographed with a woman, and then at the same time, I think the media was saying he was gonna propose to her. That was finna be
Yes.
his wife. They
Yes.
was going crazy with that. That's when these women got upset.
Yep. Because
I honestly, you know what I'm saying? It's an insecurity issue with them. And how you a black man and this and that, and you dating these white women and you doing this and you doing that. It was an ego thing with them. They were
Yep.
upset. That's why they went after him, and they don't go after nobody else. They're not
That
going to go
is
after
true,
Harry
man. That is
Weinstein and
true.
Jeffrey Epstein, because Jeffrey Epstein, they wouldn't date him either. So they don't care what he do. They're not going after Harry, whatever his name is, Weinstein, because that's not their type. They wouldn't date him either. So why would we spend our time going after him? No, we're going to go after R. Kelly because they know they was listening to his music. They liked his music. They wish their man was something like that. And then when they sing what he liked, that pissed him off.
Yep, that's
You have
true,
to be
Daddy.
100 with that. And then
And
you have to, as far as the venues and going to these concerts, you think people will use their common sense. I'm a mom. My daughter's going to be 25 years old. I've been going to R. Kelly concerts since forever. When she was 17, 18, there's no way in hell I was taking her with me. That's just something I wouldn't do. The music the stuff that he's saying is not something that I want to see my daughter sitting there dancing to. Even though I listen to it, I figure I'm grown, but this is always going to be a child of mine. I'm not going to take her to those places. I think the world expect every parent to think like that, but it's clear that they don't. So that's why I
they
say
don't.
that we can take this as a message and as a lesson. Now, in order to get these parents to start thinking before they act, you have to start charging these parents. Somebody got to be made an example. Why not start with her? Her daughter told on her under oath on the stand. Anybody could get that and see what she said. She set that girl, the mother set him up. Use her as an example. You can't come, these celebrities have to have some type of protection from this stuff.
I agree.
I agree with you, Daddy. I agree with you 500%. And that's something, like we said, need to be done, because that means every artist right now should be looking out. If a young lady come, you don't know if their mama put makeup on them and say they tell them that they're 25 when they're not that age. This is a wake up call. People got to pay attention to. You know, this is a wake up call.
I just don't get the parents at all.
Be right back, Sylvia. Be right back.
No, especially their story just don't sit right with me. You gonna take her and put her in that situation? What were they saying? That she had just tried to commit suicide. She was so scorned from a breakup or
Right.
whatever. So they tried to uplift her. That whole thing falls apart. And it's sad because none of these platforms that allowed them to tell that BS came back. And after Azriel's statement, she didn't even want to sing. That wasn't the case. They didn't try to come back and clear that up or anything. They told that story that they only took her to uplift her spirits.
But you know,
And
they didn't mention it in court.
huh?
Gone away
Notice
from
they didn't mention it in court.
They didn't mention any of that.
and she's been gone away from R. Kelly how long? She'd have dropped more than one song by now. If that's where her head was really at and her heart was in the music.
She don't want to sing.
No, she don't. No. It's just sad.
You know the other thing too, when your parents putting certain things in your head like money, 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 you're gonna want money. You don't want to work for it, but you want the money, 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 money. So
That's true.
because that's what I see. I see that. Because if you ever watch the two fathers, what do they always talk about? Money, 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 money.
And how the one's so rich. Shoot. If she was that rich, I don't know why she had to wait till after Gayle King interview to get her hair done. She should have got it before.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Stephanie said, Summer Bunny said the mothers dressed them up for Rob. Well, Azrael said that her mother dressed her up and sent pictures of her singing in her bra and panties.
Yep.
I don't know how each and every last one of these witnesses testified that their mothers was in the picture.
Yep.
That's
Mom,
what's so
I
sad.
gotta do better. Mom, gotta do better.
Even the grown one, even she didn't say her mother, but she said her grandfather. She used her grandfather's phone. It was somebody. It's just crazy.
Well, anyway, guys, I'm about to end this live, and we're gonna
Yeah, he did put her on stage and get mad when things don't go your way.
Yep.
Hey,
But
you
anyway,
guys,
huh?
look at Miss Pat's comment. That had me cracking up. It's probably a little ways back. Look at it.
Well, anyway, guys, I'm about to end this live, and if we want to continue the nonsense stuff, we can go on the other channel, okay? Because I know that I see a lot of people got some stuff they want to get out of themselves, and they holding back. So I'm gonna end this now. If you guys want to follow over there to the other channel, I'll open it up, and y'all can express yourself. It's gonna be express yourself moment, okay? So you guys, I'll see you. Thank you, Dottie, for bringing your
You're
input.
welcome.
I appreciate you as
You're
always.
welcome.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here waving at the camera like I'm on camera, Leah.
Oh,
Thank you,
did
You're
Dottie.
welcome. You are so welcome.
Are you
I-
taking medicine for that?
Yeah, they got this new honey NyQuil.
Okay.
It's made of honey, so I've been trying to take that and some Mucinex.
And you're resting?
Oh, listen, I needed to get up. And so I'm glad I got on your live because I would have been just laying down. And if you just lay there, you're going to stay stick. I need to get up and move around. So thank y'all for getting me up.
All right,
Yeah,
you're welcome. So you could come on the other side. Let's go get it out.
I can curse over there, right?
Yeah, you can cuss over there. You can cuss over there.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'll see you guys in a few. Bye.